Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Watch Stuff with us. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And we just finished watching Daredevil Born Again, episode 7. I think that was a good one. That was a solid episode. I went into it saying that I thought that it was going to be a 3.5.
Same. I'd give it at least a 4.
Yeah. I think I give it a 4.
Every
time we watch these shows, like I end up wanting more, but I felt like that episode is definitely better than the 2 that we watched last week. So let's do a little bit of a recap. So we started with the young lady who was White Tiger's niece in the hospital recovering. Matt Murdock went to go visit her to see how she was doing, and from there he
found out about the lair and everything.
Right. They got some more information about the lair, and they were able to relay that information to the police, and then the police went to check out and figure out what was going on. So they went there, they saw all the pictures, all the craziness, all the nastiness that Muse had there, and was able to sort of figure out
who Muse is,
who he is via
through the
canvases. Yes,
canvas type that he was using.
Right, which was some sort of rare type of canvas
that only 12 people in the city had purchased recently, and they attracted 11 of them, and he was the only one they couldn't find. So power deduction, it was him.
Right, and then they did some digging into his background, found out he was a taekwondo artist, I guess you would call that,
and it also been put in what do you call that?
What do you mean?
He was taken to a mental hospital.
Oh, yeah, committed. Yeah, he had been committed a few different times. But he was also very good at Taekwondo, which at least went to explain why last week he was like giving it to Daredevil, because I was watching and I'm like, yo, why is this dude
this little kid?
Right, why is he kicking Daredevil's butt a little bit?
He's not big or anything.
Yeah, he was breaking out like roundhouse kicks and everything. I'm like, what's going on? So at least they explained that. Like I really appreciate them explaining it that way, and at least showing that like, hey, yeah, you weren't just seeing something and he just couldn't magically all of a sudden fight. Like, no, he's like legit in Taekwondo. So we got that scene.
I guess you can call them paintings.
Yeah.
That he had made of his therapist.
Which was like maybe 4 or 5 of them, and
she caught on real quick as he started talking, and then once he did his own painting with his own nosebleed.
Yeah. that was a creepy scene. So let's set it up. So Muse, or at least Bastion, was there talking with his therapist, and I think her name is Heather. Yeah, he was talking to Heather, and she was just, asking him about his background and like where he came from, trying to learn more about him. And at one point he was like explaining different things that happened to him, and he started to get a little excited and he got a nosebleed. So then he took this nosebleed and the blood from the nosebleed and started like drawing on a piece of paper with it. So then she figured out that he was actually the Muse serial killer that had taken out like 60 people.
Plus he mentioned Taekwondo.
Right.
And she was catching on.
Yeah. She figured it out. Quick. And then it seemed like he was going to like be okay with her, but no, he was not. She got up to try to get away, and then he like
kind of a mistake.
Yeah, he kind of like slit her arm. Why do you say that was a mistake?
I mean, it's, in my opinion, like, I don't think there's a good way to go about trying to escape a criminal, and I mean, each one's different. So I probably would have tried, though, to continue to befriend him and be like, because you knew that he trusted you up to a point. So if you'd be like, I'm not going to say anything to anybody, how can I help you? And just kind of like deceive him a bit, but keep that trust going.
Right.
You have probably a better chance of getting away.
Yeah.
I would hope, but I feel like, if they're just like, oh, don't move, and then you run, well, it's gonna piss anybody
off.
Of
course. It's like the dog chasing you. If you just sort of like calmly walk away, the dog might not chase you, but if you just bolt out, like, it's gonna go after you, and that's exactly what happened
for each person. Who knows? People have twisted minds. So.
Yeah, agreed for sure. So yeah, then he sort of tied her up and cut her arm, so she started bleeding, and he laid out
put her on the drop sheet.
Yeah, he laid out a big old drop sheet because I guess he was gonna make some new art, and he slammed her down there, and right when he looked like he was about to take her out and finish the job, Daredevil showed up through the window, and they began fighting. Pretty good back and forth, but I would say this time Daredevil was definitely getting the better of the fight. And
He
he
used that
right, I was gonna say he got like
hook
slung
thing.
away at one point though, and like it caused Heather to like fall to the ground, and she's on the ground, and it looked like Muse had an opening, so he like went and picked up a knife and was going to attack her on the ground, and that was when Daredevil used his billy club, which has like almost like a grappling hook in it, and like shot through the like shoulder area of Muse and
And
like
pulled him
pulled
down.
him back. Like it was gruesome. Like that was awesome. That was awesome. Wasn't expecting that. So yeah, pulled him back, kept him off of her. So they started fighting some more, and then he was able to get a bit of space between them and like push Muse away. And Heather popped him 4 times in the chest and took him out. And then Daredevil was able to escape. And Heather was okay enough that she was going to survive. And then the task force, as they call them, came to the scene, and they were there to originally try to take out Muse, but they arrived too late, and we found out that
It's fine because they took credit for it anyway.
right, they ended up taking credit for it because Wilson Fisk shows up and says that we can't we're not going to give Daredevil credit for this, even though the task force officers knew that Daredevil had been there, and BB also had videotapes that we saw or recordings of him potentially like leaving, and some other people who had seen this. So yeah, they ended up coming up with a plan that we're going to have the task force takes credit for this. And then you had a news conference, and they basically stood up there and said, yeah, vigilantes, we said that, or Fisk said that vigilantes aren't okay and aren't allowed in this city, and we ended up taking out somebody because we are the ones who are going to be controlling and running the city. So we had that. Then we had a conversation between Matt Murdock and Heather in the hospital, where he just so happened to see that same scene, and you could tell he was super upset that Fisk was taking credit for
And
this.
she said, Daredevil knew my name. He said my
Right,
name.
right. Now I thought that was interesting too, and you brought up a good point. Like, do you think she's gonna be one of those people who's like, oh my god, Daredevil, like,
I mean,
or
a little bit because he did save her life,
uh-huh,
but
uh-huh,
yeah, usually that's how the women are in the superhero movies. Like with Spider-Man and MJ and everything, and
yeah,
other shows like that, where the masked person saves your life, and you're
right,
like, oh, they're so great, and meanwhile he's just chilling next to you without the
right.
mask
You
all the
don't even know.
time, and yep,
You ain't even know it.
yep.
So then we ended the episode with a little setup that Vanessa, or I don't know if it's a setup or not, but Vanessa had talked with the guy who is one of the leaders of the Tracksuit Mafia, and he kind of alluded that they could take Fisk out. So she kind of left it open ended, and then she sent him a message that later on that night saying that like, hey, Fisk is here and he's alone. So the Tracksuit Mafia guy shows up at the restaurant where Fisk is eating and appears to be alone, pulls out his gun, and then ends up getting popped by Fisk's assistant, like right hand man. I can't remember his name, but yeah, ended up taking him out. So then he tells the assistant, Fisk tells the assistant to ask Vanessa
Poor
if she
Vanessa.
wants if she wants any grub from the restaurant that they were at. So the big
Kind of left
question
you a
is,
cliffhanger.
right? The big question is, did Fisk know that Vanessa set him up, or was Vanessa in on the plan with Fisk to take out this guy? Which one do you think it is?
I think Fisk knew that she was trying to set him up. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think that they still have some beef between them.
I think I'm going to go the other way. I think that they were in on this together, and then she's going to feel extra betrayed when she finds out that he's been torturing her boyfriend or side piece when they were away from each other. I think his name was Alex or Adam. I think that was his name. But yeah, I think that they are going to end up, that information is going to leak out, and she's gonna feel some sort of way about it, and then say like, hey, I didn't I saved your life. Now you are out
You
here
owe me.
betraying me. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting. What do you think? Did you like the episode? If you had to rate the episode, what would you rate it?
I'd move it up to a 4.
Okay, solid 4. Okay, I think I would give it a 4 too. We got some people in the chat, namely Seattle Ryan and Tommy D. Seattle Ryan gave it a 4. He said, I think it was a 4 or 5. I think the next episode will be another 4, and the finale will be a 4.5. And Tommy D said that was a fire episode. So yeah, I think it was a good episode too. It was better than what I thought. I really, really, really hope that they continue to go up a bit more in these episodes and give us a little bit more. Like that episode was quick. It was only like 30 something minutes. So I was expecting a little bit more. And moving forward, I hope that they give us even more in episodes 8 and 9. Pedro YSL, big shout out to you. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, man. I appreciate you for checking it out. So if you haven't noticed, we also do a reaction to the show live, and we are looking at viewer comments right now. So Pedro YSL says, I think Muse has been showed too fast and died too fast. You know what? I'm with you. I think that Muse was the type of villain that they could have really did a slow burn with. They could have really like had over 4 or 5 episodes, like slowly but surely build him up, see how he was taking these people out. And instead of just the reveal last episode that he had killed 60 people, like
in this one, he's dead.
Right. And then this one, he's gone. Like it was way too fast. I 100% agree with you.
Could use the entire season.
Yeah. I think that they definitely had a different focus in these episodes. So we know that there was a lot of turmoil when they were filming these episodes. So you can definitely see that in the way that things have been edited to finish. So one more comment before we get up out of here. Tommy says, I don't think he's dead. Wow. Now that would be something. I think he is dead. He looked pretty dead.
He is because so many people had came in and out of that room and he never moved. And I don't know.
Now that would be crazy.
I am surprised nobody took the mask off though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, eventually they must have because they showed his picture and said that he was the one that was Muse. So he must have made it to the morgue somehow.
Yeah.
I think he's dead.
Yeah, Tommy standing on it said, I think he'll be back. So what do you think? If you're watching after the fact right now, like I said, we did a live stream. Please, please, please let us know what you think. Drop a comment below. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time we go live in
2025.
My name is JD.
I'm Katie.
Thanks so much for watching another episode of Watch Stuff with us. Peace.